Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been about 3 months since my trip to Los Angeles, and now I'm finally be able to make a video about it since I've been kind of busy. So hopefully I remember everything that happened. I have notes and pictures to go back on here, so hopefully I have everything uh, set and ready to go to give my best video on this trip. So the main reason why I went to Los Angeles, my whole family and I went. We went to go see the Rose Bowl. We're big Alabama fans and football fans, as you can probably tell. And I know it's a basketball hoop, but we're Alabama fans. But we had as a family, we kind of have a tough couple months towards the end of the year, so we kind of wanted to do something together as a family, something nice at the end of the year. And again, it happened that we wanted to go to the Rose Bowl since Alabama made the playoffs, and we were kind of searching for some good prices and packages, and we finally ended up finding one about a week out from the Rose Bowl. So that was really cool to do. We never really had a trip like that before, so we were kind of all excited to head out, even though it was only for about 3 days or so. But it was jam packed, full of action and excitement. Unfortunately, Alabama did not win, but that did not take away from the trip as a whole. It would have added a little bit more, a little boost up, but I cannot complain about um, being able to go to Los Angeles anyway. So there's that side of the story. And then one of my friends and subscribers who I've been talking to for quite a while now, he lives in Los Angeles, and he offered um, my family a tour of Los Angeles since he's lived there, and also be kind of Beatles related as well. His name is John Roker, so a huge shout out to him. He gave us a whole tour of LA, and he also kind of made it again Beatles related, which was good for me, and my family didn't mind as much as well, in terms of being a little bit more Beatles related. But we got to see all the sites pretty much we wanted to, and I'll add a few pictures of some sites we didn't quite get to, but we had on the itinerary. But I'll get there at the end of the video. So that's kind of the background on how I got there, and I think we're just going to start. I'll show kind of pop up some pictures here. We got to the airport in Birmingham, and it was just a straight shot to Los Angeles. So they had a nice little kind of reception area at the gate. They had like a big owl mascot inflatable. They had some snacks and food there, so that was good. And then the plane ride was no problem, and we made it to our hotel kind of later that night, no problem as well. And then the next morning was, I believe, Sunday, and that was going to be our free day. And then the Rose Bowl game was going to be on that Monday, New Year's Day, I believe. So we, on our free day, got up, had some breakfast, and then we went to go see my friend, Mr. Roker, and he invited us. We met at his house, and he was nice enough to give me this little Beatles bag, and then he gave me a Beatles Now and Then promotional grocery store separator when you check out from the line. So I thought that was kind of funny. So he had one. He had an extra one that he gave to me, and then he also threw in this little bag a little wallet from 2015. And since it was kind of Christmas, a little past Christmas time, he gave me a Billy Idol Christmas record, and this is kind of Beatles related, as it is on the Dark Horse label. So there you go. So that was very nice of him. He didn't have to do that. Kind of gave each of my family members a little kind of goodie bag or present when we met him. And then he borrowed a little convertible car to take us around LA. So that was really fun. We got to go around LA with the top down. But our first stop, he went to go show us. We went to go see the original Batcave. So I have a couple pictures up of the original Batcave. The front part is kind of like gated off. I guess they don't want you going in there for dangerous purposes or something. So on the back side, I got a little bit better pictures of what it looked inside, and then there's a funny picture of me kind of looking mysterious or planning something evil afoot. But in that same area, you take a little hike up, um, kind of some of the hillside, and then you get to see the Hollywood sign. So that was really cool. So I got put up some pictures of what we took from our view of the Hollywood sign. So that was really cool. And then we went back to our car, and our next stop was at the Hollywood Bowl. And as you can tell, this is Beatles related, as the Beatles had a pretty famous show, and eventually came out on vinyl. So I have a few pictures of the Hollywood Bowl here. Of course, other many artists had shows here and everything like that. And what I was surprised about this venue, that's what word I was trying to think of, is how far back and up it went. I think it held, if I remember, about 80,000 people, and it goes like straight back up. I didn't realize how big it was, but it was really cool. You got to see the Hollywood sign again in the background, and it was just a really cool place to go visit. They had like a security guard at the beginning, but you just had to see some people just kind of walk up and down through the venue. So that was really cool. So I got some shots and some pictures I'm hopefully showing you right now. And then I believe also while we were driving there, we went to go, or we passed the hotel where Janis Joplin unfortunately passed away. According to Mr. Roker, this trip, he kind of dubbed it the Tragical History Tour of LA. So he kind of had some interesting facts of some tragedies as we were driving around LA. So that was kind of funny as well. Well, not really. He made it entertaining. It was a good time. So after the Hollywood Bowl, I'll get back to my notes here. We went to stop by 7-Eleven because we used to live in Maryland, and the 7-Eleven was we always like going to 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee. So we don't have that. We don't have those in Alabama. So we just decided to get a Slurpee on the way to our next stop, which is the Jim Henderson Company, which is A&M recording studio. So George Harrison recorded Extra Texture there. And let's see, what other notes do I have here? I think John Lennon recorded rock and roll music album. And then also apparently Phil Spector shot a gun in there as well. So that was interesting stories for sure. So I'll throw a few pictures up of that. I didn't get to actually go in there. I believe though, didn't actually get to go in there, but we got to see the premises. And then from there, we went to a guitar center where I think a lot of famous musicians get their custom guitars at, and they had some handprints on the ground of some famous bands and some it's kind of some plaques of famous musicians kind of all throughout the front of the storefront. So we were just kind of waiting around a little bit for the next stop, which was Rockaway Records. So this was a very cool record store, and a huge shout out to the owner as well, Gary. He was actually closed on the day I had my free day, but him and Mr. Roker, John Roker, were he collects records as well, so they got to know each other pretty well. And Mr. Roker asked Gary to open up the store so I could go in and see what he had. And fortunately, he did, and I was very thankful for that opportunity. to go shop around because he specializes in very high-end Beatles items. I'll show some pictures here in a little bit, and I'll show you what I got here as well. He has, pretty much every rare Beatles album he's probably gone through his hands at least, one time before. So I'll have a picture of me holding a $40,000 Butcher album, First State Butcher album. So that was cool. We got to see a lot of original like VJ promo records, and he had like whole boxes. They had about 6 boxes of just 45s, and he just had like multiple copies of like the rarest stuff. So he had like some jukebox EPs. He had like a whole stack of Happy Christmas War over promos. He had about like 10 of them in like mint condition. So that was kind of crazy to see. And he just had about everything you could probably want in the rare category. And we spent a lot of time going through all the rare records and everything like that. So again, very thankful for him to open up the store to let us go through and everything, and we had a really good time and experience with him as well. So if you're ever in the area, Rockaway Records, I think you have to make an appointment with him to go into the store. I think ever since COVID happened, he started making things by appointment. And again, he has a lot of expensive things. You might not want a whole lot of people in the store at a time, so you can keep track of everything. But this is also a Beatles update video, and I'll show you what I got at his store. So from the 45 categories, I got a couple Paul McCartney 45s. This is a Fine Line, backed with Growing Up, Falling Down. And there's the backside. And it kind of comes with a little poster. It's kind of one of the sketches. And here is the label. And I'm slowly making my way through to try to recreate the Beatles, or the Paul McCartney singles box set. So I have the reissue on the box set, but now I have an original one, and that's also a hype sticker as well. So this came out in 2005, and this next one came out in 2007. Kind of very similar. We got Ever Present Past, and then House of Wax Live. So there's the front. There's the back. This also came with an insert. And this is both of these are from the UK or Europe release. And here is the label. So happy to find those kind of early 2000s Paul McCartney records. They're not the most expensive things in the world, but they're just kind of tough to find, at least where I'm at. All right, let's put those aside. And then I got a George Harrison promotional 45 of Dark Horse, on Dark Horse, of this song, and it came with the promotional sleeve as well. So it just kind of gives a little background behind this song right there, and then it gives the lyrics to the song on the back. And here is the record label. It's a white promotional label. Now there is a stock copy of this song that is just a stock copy. It has to say promotional and not for sale on the label for it to be a promo. Sometimes I see some sellers on eBay, I don't know if they don't know or trying to trick people, but it has to say promo on the label for it to be a promo. The other white label copies that don't have it are not a promo. So be aware of that if you're looking for promos. And then I got a couple Beatles 45s here, including a kind of unreleased picture sleeve, we got Girl and You're Gonna Lose That Girl from the, I guess, the Love Songs. They didn't officially release this, and there's a few actual records floating around out there. The colored vinyl versions are unofficial, but the ones on black vinyl are or were going to be official, if that makes sense. So he threw this in for me after my purchase, so I really appreciate that. Sleeves in really nice shape. Everything he has is also in really top shape. And then the last 45 here, I wanted to get something a little bit on the rarer side. So I finally ended up getting a Beatles Ain't She Sweet and Back with Nobody's Child. I had the 45, I just didn't have the picture sleeve yet. So this one still has the drill hole in it right there. He had some that didn't have the drill hole, but they're like, quadruple the price of a normal one. So I just stuck with this copy right here. So there's the label. He also had a bunch of promotional promo 45s on the Atco label as well. But again, did not grab any of those. And also did not grab any $40,000 Butcher albums or anything like that. And then I did cut a couple LPs here. Got the Traveling Wilburys Volume 3. Really nice shape. So now I got Volume 1 and Volume 3. And here's the inner sleeve. And again, really nice shape. And I got one more item to show, and it's a Paul McCartney album. And I've been looking for this one for a while. And every time I see one, it's always the CD version, not the record version until now. So this is Paul McCartney Flower in the Dirt, kind of like concert pack, I guess you can say. So the album would slide in here, as well as all the other goodies and singles and everything like that. So this album contains a 12-inch single, a poster, a few posters, bumper stickers, postcards, and the tour itinerary. So this one has kind of like all the goodies for Flowers in the Dirt. And this is also a UK pressing. And my number is 1741. Not too sure how many they made. Let's see if I can try to find that real quick after I grab all the contents. Set that aside. Alrighty. So here's some of the postcards here. Go at the back. Just pictures of the band during the tour. Shot of Paul, Linda. All right, so we have the first poster here, which is the Paul McCartney Band Family Tree. So this is about every iteration of Paul McCartney, where Paul McCartney came from for his band, and where all his other current band members at the time came from. So it's kind of an interesting look of where everything kind of comes from and meets up in the end. So that was kind of an interesting kind of look through. And then the second poster is a nice shot. There you go. And that's kind of art stylized photo of the band at the time. And I guess I got one more postcard here, snuck through the cracks. And then here is the Paul McCartney World Tour itinerary, all the places that they would have gone to throughout the tour. And here is the bumper sticker. So I'll rather be listening to McCartney with a flower. And here is the actual record. Again, this is a UK release. Here is the insert slash mini booklet with all the lyrics. And the original yellow inner sleeve. And then finally, you got the record here. It's in really nice shape. Okay, now I can finally stop searching for this concert version. Don't have to get tricked by any CD versions ever again. And then the last one, it's also a single that came in the Paul McCartney singles box set. And this was a kind of an add-on to this release, but it's a Party Party. It's about a 5-minute, 30-second song of just them saying Party Party. So there's the back. It's a single-sided 45. There's the label right there on Parlophone. Then it's also etched on the back with some flowers right there. So happy to pick up this 45 with the whole set and instead of trying to find this separately, I kind of want everything together and complete anyway. So I'm glad that all worked out. So that was Rockaway Records, and if I'm ever back in the Los Angeles area, I would definitely be going back for sure. But again, big shout out to Gary, one of the owners there, for letting us in when he wasn't even open on that day. So really thankful for that. So after that, the day was kind of winding down, so we kind of started to pick up the pace a little bit here. We went to the Capitol's record building and then see some stars on the Walk of Fame. So I'll throw up some pictures we took at the Capitol record building. So that was really cool to see in person. You know, I have my record store display of the Capitol's record building, but it was cool to see in person. Then, of course, I got to see the stars on the Walk of Fame of the Beatles individually and all together in front of the building. And then our next stop was actually kind of a fun stop. We went to go to the Funko Pop store, and unfortunately they were closing in about 20 or 30 minutes, or we would have made a custom Funko Pop of each other. But it was a pretty fun place. They had a lot of big displays. You had like Star Wars displays. I'll probably throw a picture of that, and that was pretty fun, a pleasant kind of surprise to kind of go and walk around there. Fortunately, no Beatles Funko Pops there, as they're not making those anymore, and they're really expensive. But pretty much right across the street from that is Amoeba Records. Again, a really kind of classic record store, or a famous or well-known record store, and this place was really large and pretty packed on this day. Didn't really find anything record-wise there while I was looking. Again, it was probably picked through. It was just kind of after Christmas, so I also didn't need to buy anything more after visiting Rockaway, but it was just kind of cool to go to an Amoeba Records. And unfortunately, I didn't get to go to the original one where Paul McCartney did his concert, because that is no longer an Amoeba Records anymore. It does not exist. But I'll throw a picture of the original Amoeba Records of what it looks like right now. So that pretty much ended day one of the trip. And again, big shout out to Mr. John Roker for being a great tour guide, and really brought the trip up another level. So that was really thankful for him. He had a lot of information about everything we went. He had a little notepad he read his notes off of, and he just really tried to give our family a great experience, which he did very well. I know we didn't get to every stop on his itinerary, but I guess that just makes us want to come back and see him one of these days. So big shout out to John. Everyone give John a thumbs up in the comment section. So day two was Rose Bowl day, essentially. So we went to go wake up bright and early. I think I woke up at like 4:45 to get to go to the Rose Bowl parade, and that was actually pretty fun. It didn't seem to take that long. Everything kind of ran smoothly in front of us. The parade, um, pretty much where the TV shot of the parade was kind of up on the corner over here. And once that got past, it kind of goes a little bit downhill, and this kind of has the main go down the main road, and that's where we were sitting in the bleachers, watching all the floats. So I'll throw in a couple floats here, but that was pleasantly surprising to be pretty fun, and it went by pretty fast, being I think a couple hours long, but that was pretty fun. And then pretty much straight from the Rose Bowl parade, we went to the Rose Bowl, and we got to go do a little tailgating, and then for the package that we had, so we kind of hung out, got some food, and then we got to go watch the game. And again, even though Alabama did not win, it was a very entertaining, exciting game. The atmosphere was really cool with all the other fans there, Michigan fans, and I got to enjoy a really good game and a very classic game in the Rose Bowl. So they had some kind of drone lights. I'll kind of show those light show at the end. It would have been better if Alabama was shown in the sky instead of Michigan, but what can you do? So I throw up a couple of pictures of the Rose Bowl, and that was a really fun experience. Very long, tiring day, but it was definitely well worth going. So then I'll also kind of throw in a couple other places that we didn't get to go, but we had on the list. So unfortunately, we didn't get to go to Blue Jay Way. Again, the George Harrison song that was inspired by it. And then we did not get to go to the Troubadour, where John Lennon and Harry Nilsson were kicked out at the Smothers Brothers show. Again, kind of more on the tragical history tour aspect of all that kind of stuff. And then we also did not get to go to the Whiskey A Go Go Club. It's one of the more famous clubs where Otis Redding, The Doors, Led Zeppelin, all those kind of popular bands and acts get to play there. And then the Beatles went there just to kind of watch some shows during their Hollywood Bowl appearances. And then apparently George threw a drink at some photographers there as well. So I'll throw kind of some pictures of the Beatles at Beatles there. Then we had Sunset Sound, where Ringo recorded his Ringo album, and that was the last time the three Beatles recorded together. Well, I guess you won't count Anthology, I guess. And then the Doors also recorded their first album there as well. And then I already showed where the original Amoeba record was and how Paul played there. And I believe our tour guide, Mr. John Roker, was at that gig, which is pretty cool. And I think that's gonna do it. Oh, I got one more. We have the Aquarius Theater painted by The Fool, who also did the John's Rolls Royce and the Apple Boutique, and as well the Sgt. Pepper inner sleeve as well. So that would have been cool to go see in person. But that's going to do it. I know this is a longer video, but I wanted to get everything in, and I decided to show all the stuff I got from Rockaway Records. So that was a very, very fun trip. I never really expected to go to Los Angeles anytime soon, but everything just kind of worked out together. And again, I've been in contact with my friend John for a while, and he said if you're ever in the Los Angeles area, to let him know. And everything worked out really, really well, and the whole family had a good time, and that it kind of wants us to go back to visit again. I don't know when I'll be able to do that, but I'm sure if we ever go back, we'll be taken care of as well with my friend Mr. John Roker. So thanks for watching the video. I know it's been a while since this probably should have come out, but again, time is was a little busy, so with all the school and sports and stuff like that. So if you're still here at the end, thanks for watching, and I'll have some more videos out here soon. Just went to a record show recently in Birmingham, Alabama, and I also have a couple other Beatles finds as well. So I should have a couple other Beatles updates along with all the stuff I showed from Rockaway. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next videos.